Welcome back. Let's turn to the other big story because there are calls now to boycott China economically that are getting louder. Walking the talk, the Indian Railways has now axed a contract to a Chinese company given in 2016. Trader bodies asking Bollywood and sports stars not to endorse Chinese brands. How far can this go? Take a look.
Anger is rising across the country over Chinese brutality on Indian soldiers in the Galawan Heights. As calls to boycott Chinese products get louder, the Narendra Modi government has taken the first step. The Indian Railways has scrapped a 471 crore rupees contract given to the China Railway Signal and Communication Corporation for installing signalling system in the Eastern Freight Corridor. The government is also likely to scrap the Delhi-Meerut Regional Rapid Transit System tender. The lowest bidder was a Chinese firm, STEC.
दिल्ली-मेरठ हाईवे वाला प्रोजेक्ट है, उसमें टेक्निकल बिड्स के बाद फाइनेंशियल बिड्स ओपन हुई हैं, जिसमें सबसे कम L1 एक चीनी कंपनी आई है। दिल्ली राजधानी है और राजधानी के साथ जुड़े हुए इस प्रोजेक्ट को यदि एक चीनी कंपनी को दिया जाता है तो उसके साथ जुड़े हुए बहुत सुरक्षा खतरे भी हैं।
The Telecom Ministry has also asked BSNL, MTNL and other subsidiaries to avoid buying Chinese equipment for upgradation of their 4G facilities. Protests are happening across the country against Chinese products.
हम बॉर्डर पे तो जा नहीं सकते, हम हथियार तो उठा नहीं सकते, लेकिन हम एक दूसरी किस्म की लड़ाई लड़ सकते हैं, वो है इकोनॉमिक वॉरफेयर। इकोनॉमिक वॉरफेयर का मतलब है कि चीन के जितना बना सामान है उसको बाइकआउट किया जाए, कसम ली जाए कि आगे से हम चीन का कोई बना हुआ सामान नहीं लेंगे।
A union minister went to the extent of saying we should stop eating Chinese food.
जिन्होंने हमारे 20 नौजवानों को शहीद किया है, हमारी छेड़छाड़ की है, हमारा अपमान करने का काम किया है, ऐसे चाइना के जो फूड है उस पर भी सभी लोगों ने बहिष्कार डालना चाहिए। सभी लोगों को मेरा निवेदन है कि कोई भी चाइनीज फूड ना खाए, इसी तरह का मेरा निवेदन है।
But the biggest question remains, can India avoid doing business with the Chinese in a globalized world? With Rahul Srivastava in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
So is an economic boycott of China really feasible? Sonam Wangchuk joining us, Ashwini Mahajan, National Co-Convener Swadeshi Jagran Manch, Shankar Iyer, author and economist, and Umesh Joshi, Director, Chilico HK Limited, that has traded with China. But first, to you, Sonam Wangchuk, because you really triggered this off as a Ladakhi, as a proud Indian citizen. You said it's time to economically boycott China. Now that's carrying momentum in some parts, but do you really believe it's feasible? Do you really believe it's feasible, or is it simply driven by the present national sentiment against China?
It's not only feasible, but the only strategic thing that we can do. Not only for military reasons of Ladakh, but also because that, when done at a global scale, the same wallets that made China will also bring it down. There are other reasons also, how much citizens' wallets can decide. We have good experience, and it's not always by convenience or feasibility. Yeah, for example, when there was products that involved child rights, people used their wallets to not buy such products, and those products vanished because people boycotted them. When it came to animal rights, cruelty to animals, products that involved that, people voted with their wallets and didn't buy them. China is even more serious case. It's not to do with just child or animal rights, but it is human rights. Look at what they are doing to their 1.4 billion people. The Chinese goods are cheap for no reason, because it is done in circumstances where laborers have no rights. If you raise your voice, you disappear. You have no care for nature or natural resources. It's all violations of every kind to make the things so cheap that it will kill the market in other countries, and then China can have a monopoly. So therefore, I think for those reasons, even people should see it as a personal sanction, if not a national governmental sanction, on a regime that is engaging in cruelty to its own citizens, human rights violations, and therefore it makes sense to boycott it.
You're saying, therefore, human rights violations, along with all the other reasons for boycotting China. But I come back to it. Is it feasible, Ashwini Mahajan, National Co-Convener, Swadeshi Jagran Manch? Are you, because let's be honest, there are so many government companies which today use Chinese material, BSNL, PSUs. Only the other day, an entire tunnel project was given to a Chinese company over L&T. I mean, let's be honest, the Chinese are all over us.
Rajdeep, I must tell you that this is not only feasible, this is the only way to teach a lesson to China. And we have done it. It's not that we will be doing it right now. In the last 2 years, there has been a significant fall in the trade deficit with China and a significant decline in the imports from China. And
together, China and Hong Kong, let's correct you, sir. Together, China and Hong Kong remain India's largest trading partner. Chinese investment in India has actually jumped from 1.6 billion in 2014 to 26 billion as of now. It's actually grown.
Yeah, it's not.
And one of the largest states it's grown in is Gujarat. The state, the largest investments of China, according to a Brookings Institute study, is in Gujarat.
If you allow me to speak, then only will I speak. Yes.
Yes.
So the Chinese imports of organic chemicals have gone down by 18%. Inorganic chemicals have gone down by 38%. These are the figures. And the imports of our electronics have declined by 17%, apart from decline in imports of steel by 18%. Right. So these are the figures. And secondly,
so you're saying it's feasible.
And it's not only feasible, and but the thing which you are saying that most of the government people are using it. Government is trying to give tenders to these companies. This is what we need to stop.
Okay, you're saying you have to stop government contract. Okay, your point taken. Just a minute. Let me just take this to Shankar Iyer, because we have unfortunately limited time. Shankar Iyer, respond to what you're hearing. Ashwini Mahajan says it is feasible. Even government projects can stop. Today we've heard the railways have stopped a 2016 project. Are we simply being driven by sentiment here?
Rajdeep, the question that is relevant is that can we replace Chinese imports? And for that, you have to recognize that India has to be managed, the economy has to be managed in a different way. You can't wake up between Doklam and Galwan and decide that, I will do this or that. 2 years back when Doklam happened, we had the same thing. I mean, the fact of the matter, four of the 5 top brands in India, mobile brands, are Chinese. Yesterday or day before, I think one of the newspapers had a front page ad on how we have grown the telecom mobile manufacturing facilities in India. 70 to 80% of the components of those mobiles are Chinese. The pharmaceutical industry, about 60% of the ingredients, the active pharma ingredients that are required to manufacture pharmaceutical drugs are Chinese.
Right.
And this is not yesterday's story, Rajdeep. In India today, in 2000, I had introduced this concept that, and the cover story in India today was Enter the Dragon, and we had written about this, how Chinese goods are coming. For the last 20 years, what has India done? I mean, I will give you just one data point. In 1996-97, India's mobile component imports from China were 156 million. Okay, 156 million. Last year, it was 10 billion.
This is of course coincided.
This is the reality of the supply chain.
Sure.
You have to recognize the supply chain.
That's the point. Let me take that to Umesh Joshi, because Umesh Joshi, you traded with China. You tell us, is it possible, your company traded with them for several years. Is it possible to break that supply chain? The Chinese keep sending in all these products as part of an essential supply chain for electronic goods, for example.
It is not possible to make a change as a knee-jerk reaction. in a couple of days. If you ever want to be self-sufficient and self-reliant, it's going to take a long time, and it needs a tremendous amount of effort and support from the government, just as the Chinese government supports its industry. We need the similar kind of support from the government here. Otherwise, it's only going to be a wishful thinking and a pipe dream.
So you're saying you've got to create an environment first where your local products can compete with the Chinese products before you call for a boycott. Am I correct?
Make the economy conducive to produce this product effectively and cheaply. Otherwise, it's not going to happen.
You know, that's the critical factor, Sonam. You know, as Shankar Iyer also pointed out, after Doklam, we again heard, let's boycott China. Now we are hearing it today. I come back to it. State governments after state government are inviting Chinese investors. The largest investment is in Gujarat. Let's get real. Sonam.
Yeah, so I think we have to act strategically and not alone. Our government should and people should lobby with other countries, especially those that are affected by Chinese bullying, and work out a strategy together. And that's how I think we should also make it into an opportunity of made in India and made in these countries. This is a great opportunity when the whole country wants to buy things made here. It's a challenge for our entrepreneurs and our industrialists to rise up to and make goods that are effective and competitive. But I don't think that we can always match China's cheap goods, because they have reasons why they make those things cheap. And on those grounds, we should ally with other countries around the world and citizens of the world. That's why my call is mainly to citizens to distinguish between, products, how they are made and what the story behind is. And I'm sure people are sensitive and sensible to use their wallets judiciously.
Ashwini Mahajan, will you tell governments, particularly BJP-ruled governments, no more contracts with the Chinese? Will the Swadeshi Jagran Manch ensure that?
That we are doing. But let me tell you, the arguments which are being made about API, let me tell you, the government has already come out with 3,000 crores of rupees of package. And for electronics, 42,000 crores of rupees of package has already been announced. And we can do it. And why we are not able to produce APIs right today is because of the dumping by China. And therefore, what is required is that we rise to the occasion, we do something for going to a target. You need to take a first step. Okay. And this is the first step you have to take.
Okay, so you're saying you've got to start. I take your point. You've got to start somewhere. Shankar Iyer, do you believe we have to start somewhere, that you can, if you decide over 5 years, this is how we are going to block Chinese growing investments in India? The irony is they are investing in all our big startup companies. The Paytms are all with Chinese investments, the Baijus. Can you stop that overnight?
Well, I don't think we should mind that. Deng Xiaoping saying that never mind the color of the money. But the more important point, Rajdeep, is that we don't buy Chinese motorcycles. We buy Bajaj and TVS motorcycles. We don't buy Chinese garments. We buy Raymond suits. We don't buy Chinese cars. We buy Japanese cars. So if we are competitive, we can do it. Mr. Mahajan said something about the APIs. Here's a point that he might want to use. 5 public sector units are on the disinvestment list. Ask the government to convert them into SEZs, create an API manufacturing zone, and invite global bids for those companies. These are the things that need to be done. India's interest rate, 10-year bond, is at 8%. China's rate is 3%.
I just want to tell you something. I want to tell our viewers, the Parliamentary Committee on Commerce, the chairman apparently gave a report that China was a threat to a Make in India program. We should put tariff and non-tariff barriers on their imports was suggested. The fact is, the government was asked to act. For the last 1.5 years, according to the Parliamentary Committee, no one in the government has even looked at the report. This is the reality. Therefore, Sonam Wangchuk, final word from you. Is this a final wake-up call? Or do you believe after a month, people will forget about this boycott campaign?
Exactly. That's the most important thing. I don't think we should be emotional and break things around that makes it into a joke. We should keep it steady for 2 to 3 years. Things take time. We should give our industry and industries around our country the time it takes to adapt to things, and then we'll have a lot of alternatives emerging. And if we continue in this kind of strategic manner,
Right.
boycott software in a week, hardware in a year, fully made, ready-made things, and those that are mixed with, raw materials and parts coming from China, you take 2 years. And this is a good strategy to also sound China.
Right.
And mind you, we should not have problems with Chinese people. It is the regime, and we should hope that our economic boycott from citizens around the world will land China in further economic problems, which gives the political unrest that it is trying to solve by doing such bullying around, aggravates further, and there is a revolt within. And that will be the day when we will be living happily with China and trading with friendly borders.
Okay, that's a hopeful sign. Umesh Joshi, 15 seconds, final word. Have you stopped trading with China?
I have shut shop and I moved back to India as a very patriotic move. And hopefully I feel our government will support me to set up here.
Okay, good.
I mean-
That's the key. The government has to help you then to set up here. You really need to walk the talk. There's a lot of talk at the moment. It's time to walk the talk. That's the real message that's coming out. Wonderful to have all of you. It's been a bulletin that has given us a real glimpse of various aspects of what is the standoff with China. Thanks very much for joining me. I want to end the bulletin though.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.